So it's pretty disgusting. All right, I want to get into all this news, but I thought I'd bring Ted Anderson up because I had never talked to Ted in the last month with this Cramer ad running. And Ted was telling me off air, yeah, I kind of wish he'd have dropped, but they just re-upped again. You know, the issue, and Ted said it eloquently during the break. I said, why don't you come on air and say that? He said, look, they didn't refuse the ad for your videos on Michael Savage and George Norrie, and George is a good guy, and Limbaugh. And why are we going to refuse their ads? This is I mean, that would be, I guess, a form of censorship to them. But again, anything we do is going to be criticized. I'm not getting any money from this. It's a stupid newsletter. The point is, I mean, I guess censor Cramer. He's obviously getting a big response. What does that say for advertising? That the Cramer's coming to us for advertising. I mean, I guess Ted, who turns down most of the ads that come into him, and I guess you just can't do anything right, Ted, can you?
No, it's always a crapshoot as to how the audience will respond. But this one is really kind of has me baffled because here you have, I mean, first of all, I did see video footage of him supporting Ron Paul, which has me puzzled. I know he's on mainstream television. And why does mainstream television need to come to us for our audience to buy newsletters from Cramer? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. But the whole point is that, you know, where do you draw the line? Where does censorship start, and when does it stop? Well, how far down that slippery slope do I want to go? And you know, quite honestly, Alex, when we have you know, media buyers that are, you know, wanting to support the movement that we're doing. I mean, they used to avoid us like the plague. I still have it. I mean, you should see the email response I have back from KSTP AM 1500 here in Minneapolis, a 50,000-watt clear channel station, blowtorch. I mean, they simply flat out refused to pick up your show. And, you know, and the reason why they did it is because they don't like your content. And, you know, I get so sick and tired of the censorship. It drives me crazy. I mean, if I canceled all the shows that I've had requests to cancel on my network, I wouldn't have even one single show running on this network. I mean, people want me to stop your show. They want me to start other shows. I mean, the whole thing's crazy. And, you know, this Cramer thing, they came in, it was a media buyer they bought. They're getting great results. That just tells me that the Alex Jones show is smoking out there. And
by the way, these ad agencies, they want to get a response for their buyer so they get the ad money again.
That's exactly what that's about. And so obviously there's a lot of people calling them up and wanting to see what this newsletter is about. And it also tells it's a great you know, it just tells you how big your audience has grown. I mean, you take a look. If you go to Alexa.com and you type in InfoWars, and then you compare it to what would be the next largest site that you would think of, or maybe even bigger, how about RushLimbaugh.com, and do a comparison and see who's doing better. Alex, your audience on the internet is bigger than anything else out there on radio, bar none. And the world is seeing that now. And as far as I'm concerned, this is carrying the message into a camp that normally wouldn't take this message. I mean, it's kind of like you can take the example of Jesus Christ. He didn't sit there and hang out with all of his followers. He never talked to the crowd. You know, he wasn't preaching to the choir. He went out and found the wicked. You know, and isn't that what this is about? Don't we want to carry the Alex Jones show, you know, and make a bigger impression? I keep on getting accused of trying to support these people, but how are we ever going to be able to, you know, to mold this nation back to its founding fathers with the roots of, you know, the Constitution and what this great nation stands for, if we're not going to be welcoming, you know, people to listen to this type of a message? You know, well,
let's expand on that, and then I want to get into news, Ted. Speaking of a newsletter that I do endorse and think is great, you are offering still free. Bob Chapman's International Forecaster comes out twice a week. And get it in hard copy or digital. Free when somebody buys a European Gold 1/5 of an ounce Frank, and you have that at lower in the market than what it's currently selling for. So it's already a smoking deal to get the Frank coin, and you get one, and then you get the newsletter. So let's talk about something very positive here. Let's talk about Bob Chapman's International Forecaster.
Well, Bob Chapman's International Forecaster is hands down the best newsletter that you can get your hands on. I mean, 40, 50, 60 pages. And it's the people that are in the know, the people that have taken the time to educate themselves are going to be the people that are going to survive what's coming to us. I mean, I don't know if people really have a good grasp about what's really happening to this country right now and the economic situation that we're in. But you really need to be educated. Information is the key to survival in this environment. There's hands down, that's what you need to have. That's why I'm making this offer. I mean, you're going to have a fifth of an ounce of gold that's yours to keep, to use wherever you want to sell it. I don't care. You don't even have to sell it to Midas. It holds value across the world, and they're at $249.61. And then we turn around and we pay for that subscription for Bob's newsletter, the International Forecaster, and he's going to send it to you for a year for free. Either you can have it emailed to you, or you can have it sent right through the United States Post Office. Either way, it doesn't matter. You're going to get.
And it's 40-something pages or more on average. Folks, here's the number, 800-686-2237, 800-686-2237. Again, 800-686-2237. And briefly, Ted, some of the other great deals you've got on silver and other gold coins.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we currently right now have the Lakota coin at $20.91. We have the Montana coin at $18.73. A great coin to be getting into if you want to really throw your nose up at the face of the Fed and these currency laws that we have here in the United States. British sovereigns right now are at 308.76. All that stuff is at a great buy. We have some old $20 liberties and $10 liberties if you're interested in that kind of thing. We also have the U.S. Eagle at a real good price. Call us at 1-800-686-2237. When gold was down there at $1,050 an ounce, I was able to accumulate some things, and I'm passing on the savings to you. But that Frank, hands down, I mean, that's like turning the clock back up into the middle of the 90s where you could buy gold between $400 and $500 an ounce.
Absolutely. 800-686-2237. Ted, thanks for the great job you're doing.
You bet. Thanks, Alex.
You bet.